Hello guys, so today we are going to start the shading of our pine cone with our charcoal. So I'm only going to use two tools out of our little charcoal baggie for this, which is the charcoal pencil and the blending stump. I do not need the charcoal block, I do not need the paintbrush to blend or a tissue, just these two tools because each and every single little piece of this pine cone here is small. They're small pieces, and because it is small, I do not need anything bigger than these 2 points right here. Otherwise, it'll get all outside my pine cone, and I want to keep the outside of my pine cone as white as it is in this paper and on this paper here. So all of my shading and all my charcoal work is going to be inside of the pine cone, not on the outside. Okay, so there is a scale, very clear scale on this pine cone of really, really light shades, which you see kind of in here where there's all these white spots, then slightly darker shades, which are like right here. It's a very light shade, but it's not totally white. Then we get a little darker, all the way to where we have our deepest black shades. So our job is to really pay attention to where all of those shades are and shade them in as we see them. So obviously the white spots we're going to leave white, and then the darkest spots we're going to layer the most, and then our job is to get all of the in-between so that our pine cone starts to look more 3D. So I'm always going to have this pine cone picture next to me when I'm doing this, and I'm just going to go in and start shading. It's easiest for me to go lighter and then kind of build up shadow. So, my pencil just broke. Sharpen it. All right, I'm back with a sharpened one. All right, so I think I was saying that it's better to layer a little bit lighter at first, and then you could always build on color or build on the shading. So this top part is the one I'm shading right now. So I'm just gonna do kind of a general outline for that top because that is where one of my whitest whites are. And then it's dark around the edges of that, so I'm gonna make it a little darker around the edges. And then it's a little bit lighter towards the middle. And there's a little glimmer in there as well. I'm having a lot of troubles right now. Go in with my blending stump and kind of just lightly blend that. It's already pretty naturally done. If I am using my charcoal pencil correctly, then I won't need to do too much with my blending stump because I've already done the shading and the layering as I needed to. So you can already see just that one little spot starts to become more 3D. So I'm gonna go into this next one right here and do the same thing around there. And if you notice that there are some spaces that when you were tracing you kind of missed, you can just add those in. So this is a little bit darker around this edge and under this white area. And then it's quite lighter in there, so I'm just gonna press very light there. And then once again, just go in with the blending stump. So you can see that this is actually pretty easy if you just break each and every single one of these down to one piece of the pine cone. So I'm moving on to this one where I'm just going to do a nice general outline for this. Now this top part has this kind of wonky shape in it where that's the lighter part. And I'm just going to copy the shadows and the shades that I see on here. And then it's pretty light around that. And then I'm going to go down here. Now here's a spot that I kind of missed when I was tracing, which is fine. So I'm just going to layer this in there. Nice and dark in this area. Dark on the under part of this. And then some kind of lighter medium shades and very lights. Gonna go in with my blending stump and blend that all out. And basically from here, I just want to keep going with that same energy around my whole entire pine cone, blowing away excess where I need to, making sure the side of my hand does not get all charcoaly so that I'm not, you know, brushing it on the side of my pine cone. Charcoaly is not an art term, I just made it up, but yeah, you know what I mean. So this is the last one that I'm gonna do right here, because I already kind of started doing it when I was doing the other one. So most of these are really like dark along the edges, so you want to press harder and layer along those edges, and then the inside is quite lighter. So you could kind of just use the blending stump to blend that out. And once again, you can already see, if I turn these two around, that this is already starting to pop off the page. It's already starting to become 3D. It's already starting to look like this pine cone. So if I just take it piece by piece and do this all the way down, I'm gonna have an awesome pine cone when I am done. So let's get started.